we are not. It's not live.
And what's up, hockey fans, and welcome to episode number 58 of Marty's Illegal Stick, recording here on January 5th, 2022, the first show of the new year. And to celebrate the new year, we are doing something tonight that we have never done in the... Oh, you got some feedback on it there. Anyways, we have got something going on here tonight that we have never done before. We are going to have multiple guests. That's right, multiple guests. So at 8 o'clock, we've got Neil Villapiano from the Double State of Mind podcast, and we got Armand Glisevich from the PuckAuthority.com to come on and talk about the New Jersey Devils injury situations and how it's going to affect the Utica Comets and also the Adirondack Thunder. But in the meantime, you'll notice that we don't have the Macho Dom. Macho Dom is not with us tonight. He's still working. Somebody's got to do the work around here to make the wheels of America go around, and Dom got
to pay the bills.
That's right.
Got to pay the bills.
Like but that voice you hear is the return of the professor, Jeremy Roberts. What is up, brother?
How you doing?
Not too bad. I see you got what's that you got on your hat there?
That's actually I told a buddy of mine actually played at Utica College. I think John, you played with him, didn't you? Your freshman year?
I know I didn't.
Or did you just miss him?
I just missed him. I think I missed him by like a year.
Yeah, Roman Amarato. He jumped on board with Stogie Golf, and I asked him if I was able to like show off the material and the merch that he has, and he has a bunch of hats which I got, and so you can go on Instagram and go on Stogie Golf. You can email Stogies and bogeys at golf@gmail.com and stogiegolf.com to find all that merch. And like I said, cool. It's another local boy that came right out of Utica. So
Stogies and bogeys. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
He's got a lot of different colors. I have the gray one. He's got black, green, I think blue. But he's got new stuff popping up seems like every other week.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely have to have our listeners and us as well check that out and get ready for the golf season, which we hope will be around the corner soon. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Anyways, speaking of the Utica College Pioneers, we got our first guest with us tonight. Our first guest is a junior left winger who has been making quite a bit of noise this season for the third-ranked Utica College Pioneers men's hockey team. He is the one, he is the only Mr. John Moncovich. John, what's going on?
What's going on? Thank you guys for having me. And also, I didn't know this, but I also wore my golf hat. Oh, where's the camera? It's terrible, but it's a nice little cart. So
what's it say?
We're just going to go with it. It's a nice little cart, guy driving a cart, and wear it every time I golf. So
nice.
It's just a great hat, and decided to go with the golf theme tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So I gotta ask you, when you play golf, are you one of those guys that insists on driving the cart?
No, I prefer to not drive the cart. Right? up here in New York, it's always bumpy no matter what course we play at.
Oh, yeah.
Back home, it's flat, so I'm just full gas the whole time. So when I drive up here, next thing you know, it's like we're flying and stuff. So I always try to sit in the side.
Well, I got to tell you, Jeremy knows my father has been on our show before. We call him Gump, right? Because he's like, in his mid-70s. He looked just like Gump Worsley. And anyways, whenever we go golfing, I have to drive, but he complains about it the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate. You're driving too fast. You hit this bump. You hit that bump. It's like
it's the backseat driver, the classic.
Absolutely.
Driver. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you said back home you are originally from North Carolina, correct?
Yeah, Wilmington, North Carolina, but on the coast.
Nice, very nice. Yeah. So is that how you ended up with the Hampton Roads Whalers?
Yeah. So I actually played with Brandon Osmondson back in 2011 in the Quebec tournament, the Pee Wee tournament that they have every year in Quebec. We were on the Junior Hurricanes, and from there we played each other a couple times, like throughout the years. And then, like in 2014, I think it was, his dad and the GM of the Whalers were really good friends, and he ended up helping me out and got me recruited from the Whalers from there. So that's how it happened.
Nice. And people don't think of North Carolina as a hockey hotbed, but it obviously it's producing some pretty good players. I mean, you came out of Wilmington. Is hockey big in like Wilmington, and especially since the Hurricanes arrived all those years ago? What was that, 1997, I think?
Yeah. So hockey in Wilmington isn't so like big itself. There's a couple kids that have made it out, and we have one kid currently playing at Plymouth State, Kyler Harding. him and I literally were in like the second grade together. And yeah, we ended up playing him freshman year here. It was pretty cool. But another guy ends up, I think he's currently playing in NLA in Switzerland, Mike Wollman. But other than that, there really isn't anyone that's like gone out and other than played like low end juniors.
Mm-hmm.
But Raleigh is tremendous for producing kids and producing them at the high level. There's a lot of D1 players currently in from Raleigh and a lot of junior guys in USHL as well. So yeah, North Carolina as a whole is starting to produce more, especially from the Hurricanes. But currently Wilmington's still kind of lacking as it's more of a beach and skateboard community.
Yeah. But hey, that's what makes you unique, right?
Yeah, like the rink got built in 2005 and people still have no clue there's an ice rink, like it's crazy.
I'm going to the ice rink today. Wait, what? We have
what?
Yeah, that's like we'll be talking about it in like, a restaurant or something before, like talking about like our game or something. They're like, "Oh, you guys play hockey? Like, where do you guys play at?" Like, the rink like a mile down the road, and they're
like down the road,
big building down there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's tucked back a little bit in like kind of like a neighborhood, but people still have no clue.
Oh man, that's too bad too, because around here, we would just do anything to have more hockey rinks. But
yeah,
I know.
Yeah, like having a like Whitestown, I think it is, in New Hartford, right here. It's crazy to like have these many rinks for me,
Right, and then you got Clinton right down the road too,
and we want more.
I know, right? Like the closest
we want
rink
more.
For me,
you're going, yeah.
The closest rink for me was an hour and a half away in Fayetteville at like Fort Bragg. And it's like, yeah, so you just like we fielded enough players to have like one midget team. We didn't even have like a U16 and a U18 team. It was like one midget team. And then like we had a lot more U16, so we could field a U16 team. So we had a U16 team. And then like every weekend they like would take players and put them up to the U18 team. So like you basically had two teams of 1.5 full team. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It was crazy. So you had like literally 14, 15-year-old playing against 18-year-olds. But then again, it was only A hockey, so it wasn't like it was like very competitive,
Right.
I guess. Right. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. Growing up there and playing was definitely cool.
Nice. Awesome. Very nice. So I just touched on the Hampton Roads Whalers Club, as I like to put it, for Utica College. I think there's 5 of you that played currently on the team that played for the Hampton Roads Whalers.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit maybe about that team and about your recruitment to Utica College.
Yeah, so I think it currently is 5 of us. It's Dixon, Osmondson, McManus, Rutkowski, myself, and then Regan Kavanaugh. His dad owns the team. So like he played there growing up. He's from there. He also played juniors there, but he never played with any of us that are also on the Utica team. He played earlier than us. But so I guess there's 6 of us, but yeah, it was really cool. I spent all 5 years of juniors there, worked my way up through the ranks. My 3rd year is when Osmondson and I were on the same team every year. Actually, I actually billeted with his family my first 3 years.
Oh, cool.
And so we were always together. And our 3rd year is when we played with Dixon and McManus, Vaden. And that was a really good team. We ended up losing in the championship that year. And then Vaden was recruited here. So there was a couple guys who got recruited here throughout those years that I played here or played for the Whale. And before my first year is when Alex Brissett came in here. And then after Alex Brissett was Jacob Gerson. He came in after my 2nd year. Then Vaden McManus came. And then after my 4th year is when Dixon came and Regan came. So like we had that pipeline. So going into my 4th year, Coach Heenan and Coach at the time was Coach Louis Ejikade. And Lou was like coming down and visiting us and like at showcases and stuff, not just us but recruiting as well and stuff. And so was Coach Heenan. And then eventually, Osmondson, we call him B and I ended up both committing on the same day, I think, to here. So yeah, it was a cool process for sure. Playing juniors there was really fun. And I think the coolest part here is, I got to come up here and play with so many guys that I know already, are already so close with, right? I wasn't going into a team blind.
Right.
And not only just going in blind, but knowing one guy, but I walked in and I think there was 8 at the time that I knew. Maybe a total of 11 that I played against in juniors, like that were on my teams. Like, Dill, Yazagiri, and Jalen. They were on the team that beat us in that championship when Vaden played and stuff like that, So like we had this huge rivalry going on, and I think we beat them the next year. So like it was really cool to go from that and then all of a sudden be teammates with all these guys. So
yeah, chemistry just clicked right away.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was actually the Charlotte guys were the guys like the first night we were here. Like there was a point where I was outside on a street by myself, like not doing anything bad or anything, but outside a restaurant, and the guys didn't know where I went. And the first guys out of the restaurant to find me are Nick Yazagiri and Justin Allen, two guys, I played juniors and hated against in juniors. And, they hated me now.
Right.
First month here, they're out looking for me, the first guy. So it showed, true character of those guys and, what kind of team we have here and the bond we have.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Very nice. That's awesome. It really is. You're right. So this season, you are leading the Pioneers in goals scored with 10. I got to tell you, man, Jeremy and I get to every home game. I have missed a couple, I have to confess, because I had to work. But anyways, and of course, we watch on Thank you. Appreciate that. Don't worry, I'm renewing my season tickets. Anyways. But anyways, you watch on the Empire 8 app on TV and all that when you guys are on the road. But, I mean, you are just phenomenal around the net. So describe your game to us. What makes John Moncovich tick when he's out on the ice?
I guess
Gary, other than Gary Heenan.
Yeah, having that. He's a great guy. He's a great coach. We'll get to that.
He is.
But I've always liked to score since a young age. I guess I've always been like that. And I've always had that ability. But recently I've been learning more of the game, the game away from the puck and actually the more in front of the net stuff. Before I came to Utica, I was not a guy who was going to the front of the net, going in the corners hard, stuff like that. And now in the past 3 years, I would say that's completely changed. And now my game is getting into that corner. Like coach always says, we want F1s, Now I want to be that guy who disrupts that forecheck so I can get that puck and make that play instead of being the guy who hangs out and waits for it. And, that's usually what gets me going. I think I play my best and I'm feeling the best during the game is when I make that early disruption or get that early hit or something like that instead of, getting all those puck touches, which something I used to need in, juniors and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, and like we said, you're talking about how Gary's always on us. That I think that is what changed my game so much is him constantly being on me. Because freshman year, he was on me about things that I had never been taught in hockey, like something so minor, like hitting with my stick on the ice on the puck instead of hitting with it in the air, like trying to crank the kid. And I was getting not scratched for it, but basically scratched for it. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? And
right.
It was a learning curve, but because he was so hard like that, it made me want to get better at that. And now I'm so much better at the little things. There's still a ton of room to improve on, don't get me wrong, but now I'm so much better at those little things that I was never even worried about in juniors and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say my game now is being that F1 guy and, making disruption and creating plays and then using that cycle possession and finding a way to get a goal.
That's great. And it's funny you mentioned the little things because that's one of our running jokes on the show. So
stop.
You had to know I was going to say that as soon as he did.
I didn't even, I heard it and I was like, I go, all right, whatever. And then you just kept going, whatever.
I wasn't letting that one get it.
John, I'll fill you in on that one later, John. That one's
oh, terrible. Man. John, is there any particular player at any level that you model your game after?
Yeah, actually. So I'm a big Hurricanes fan, being from North Carolina.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah, would never believe that actually. And recently, I've been trying to play more of Andrei Svechnikov. That he's a guy who has an unbelievable shot. He can not shoot the puck like Matthews, but he's on that. He's on the power play right there for a reason. It's because he has a shot that can get through, can score. But at the same time, he's also a guy who's driving the puck low, using his speed wide on that defender instead of trying to make a move and then cutting in, grinding his edges and getting to that net. He's a guy working hard in the corner, making the hits. He's not afraid to throw his body around, He's a guy who kind of does it all. And the more I can do that, probably the longer I'll be able to play. And that's the end goal, right? So
absolutely.
Right.
Just try to. It's crazy too because he's 2 years younger than me, and I'm modeling my game after him. But he's one hell of a player, so I might as well do it.
Right.
Hey, don't worry
right.
about it, John, because I'm 47, and I told you earlier, Jeremy and I are on the same beer league team. So anybody I model my game after is younger than I am.
Hey,
so
what I always say,
models my
doesn't
game.
matter.
He models his game after me.
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't
well,
matter
no,
what
but-
league you played in, no matter how far you got in hockey, all paths lead to beer league.
That's
no matter
right.
what, you're playing beer
Right.
league.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Like after they retire from the NHL, there isn't some alumni league, right? They go right to A league.
They go right.
You know,
exactly.
Could you imagine if there was, though? That's a great point.
It'd be unbelievable.
It would be
fun.
awesome.
It'd be
You know
awesome.
what? I mean, I know we're live, but I mean, we could be like the co-founders of the alumni league for these guys that just keep playing.
Yeah.
That could be.
Could you imagine that?
They would. A lot of them would like it, but it would take a lot of them like probably a couple years to get into it, right? Because they're going to be sick and tired of it. They're going to want to spend time with their families. They want
absolutely.
to travel. It would have to be like a once a month like tournament thing.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
All these guys can spend that time with their family for once.
That would be really
exactly.
cool.
It would be cool to do.
They could draw a huge crowd to different cities, you know. Yeah,
it'd be like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, what was it? A few years ago when they had that Heritage Classic in Winnipeg, and they played the Oilers, they did something similar to that, where like Gretzky and Messier and all the old greats showed up, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, just to kind of relive the old days, so to speak. So there we go, guys. There's our ticket to our millions right there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
that and a Powerball.
Yeah. Oh man. So John, speaking of games, obviously every game on the schedule is a huge game, obviously. But is there any particular game or games that you guys kind of circle the calendar and go, yeah, can't wait to get to this one?
Yeah. So for like out of conference, really any game, because those are the ones that punch your ticket to the tournament and stuff like that. Obviously our league does, but with a bad out of conference record, say you lose your league, some fluke happens,
right?
Then what do you do, right? If you have bad out of conference record, you're not getting in. So this year, we're kind of, I think we're 2-2 with that, so we're kind of struggling, but we're gonna turn that around this upcoming weekend, obviously. And but yeah, so out of conference games are always huge, but for me, it's the Wilkes games. A lot of those kids are on that rival team and from juniors. A lot of those Wilkes guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a lot of them. So we as in the Whale guys, I guess, really like that game. Really can't wait for those 2 games every year. And to make it better, they're our rival now. So
right, yeah, exactly.
Really gotta love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
because I mean that game at the ADC got a little chippy towards the end.
Yeah, it's tending to do that now every time we play them. Weird. It's weird. It's like most of our games don't get chippy, but when we play them, every time it's chippy. It's like
right.
Must be us.
Yeah, must be. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I remember years and years watching UC hockey. It was always like Manhattanville was the big rival.
Yeah.
And now that's kind of faded away a little bit, and you're right. I mean, you watch Wilkes come in and it's a different, it's like watching a Manhattanville game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just how they play. I know Manhattanville. I was never around when they were like that chippiness and that, played that style. Whether they try to still, I'm not really sure, but I remember watching that year they won here. We were watching.
Yeah, that was
the year before I came.
That was tough. That was a tough year.
That's when they were like 15 heavy seniors, I think, something like that.
Yep.
Something stupid. But and that's why they were like that, because they were so old. That team was so old, and they had the ability to do that because their guys are so much bigger.
Yep.
And that's the college game, though. Is like those old teams, they got to find a way to do something to stop those speedy young teams, and that's what Utica was at the time.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why college is so cool. Any team can beat anyone any night.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah.
It's awesome. Josh Giggs just chimed in, and just because we're live, I won't say it completely, but let's just put it this way: he still can't stand Manhattanville.
I think it was a rivalry that's like almost ingrained in every UC fan base that you hate Manhattanville. Like it doesn't matter. And now it's like, you look at the schedule now, and I think you guys only play them 1 time this year.
We should play
I think it's twice because you're out there and then you got a home game.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't
So,
really play
but
anymore.
no, and it's weird. I mean, it's just, it was that rival that for us as the fan would be like, oh, when we play in Manhattanville, is it the teddy bear toss game? Is it going to be this game? Is it going to be, and now it's like,
Right.
like I said, it's kind of faded away, but it is still a rivalry because everybody knows that it's Manhattanville and you know what they've done. They know what happened. Yeah. The history's there and they know what happened when they won on our ice, and we'll never forget that.
Yeah. It's even like when we play them now, it's still brought up by those guys on that team, like my freshman year when it was fresh. And our seniors were like Joey Rakowski was hesitant, like he was not hesitant. He was very persistent in letting us know, what happened last year and what we're gonna do. And like, Jared Fitzpatrick the same way. It was just we didn't have a choice when we played them. It was like we're gonna beat them to a pulp basically. And we're just gonna bully them. And I don't think we did that to our best ability that year, but we still ended up going 2-0. So like it was positive.
Right.
But and even now we just still don't like them. I don't like them because of that, I had to watch that game with my buddy who was actually committed to Manhattanville, sitting right next to us.
Oh, really?
Me beat Jackson. Actually, it was me beat Jackson and then him.
Oh,
and we were chirping him the whole time after game one, just letting him hear it. Next day comes around and we got quiet pretty quick, So
yeah.
I didn't like that, so no, I'm not a big fan of Manhattanville either.
Right.
Oh man, I can't imagine Coach Heenan's very happy after a loss like that either.
Yeah, no,
I don't.
But granted, neither are we.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
And he gets fired up for sure. Every right so. And I like it the way he does it. I don't know. I'd much rather have a coach that has that passion, whether
absolutely
it's anger or excitement, whatever it is. But he's just as bought in as us, and that's something that a lot of teams even at this level don't have, which is kind of surprising to say, but it's the truth, and it's tough with that. And I'm just glad and lucky, honestly, that we have that. So. Mm-hmm. It's you're gonna get the short end of the stick sometimes with Gary, and that's okay as long as you can take one off the chin and deal with it. And no, it's not a personal attack, but he's doing this because he wants you to get better. He's yelling at you because he expects more out of you, and he knows you can do this. And some kids that's not their style, doesn't work well with them, and those are the ones that tend to weed out, and the ones that stick around and usually really works well in their favor. So obviously he's doing something right. He's the only coach in 21 years now. How many conference championships does he have? How many regular season titles does he have? He's done everything but win a national championship at this level. He's doing something right. Like, why would he change? So
over 300 wins, just incredible.
Yeah, he has a hell of a resume. So if he's going to come in and yell, we better listen, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's absolutely.
He comes in and freaks out on us sometimes, but sometimes we need it, right? You got to be humbled. And he definitely makes sure we're humbled all the
time. Yeah, I mean, we've had him on quite a few times, and I've known Gary for a number of years now, and it's funny having not being on camera and talking to him, and you get to really know him, and you can see the fire that he has, and the respect and the love that he has for his players. Yeah, and the fire that he brings, that it's there. He wants to do better, and he wants to teach, and he wants to coach, and it's just like he just does it so well that you're right. When he yells, what he's yelling about. Like it's not like in one ear out the other. You're listening to somebody with the knowledge of, all right, this is what we got to do.
Yeah, we're very lucky, as a group. Like I said. Not a lot of teams have what we have here, as far as not even with coach, just our arena, just our facilities, everything we get. Like we get treated so well, and, plus on top of that, we got two great coaches with Coach Gary and Nick Therian, and they're just unbelievable for us. They help us out constantly. Even through other things, like you have a problem with school, you can go talk to them, and they'll help you out right away with your classes, and they're just they're good humans, and that's not something you find a lot, and we're just really lucky to have everything that we do here. It's great.
Right. Well, that's fantastic. Just they care for their players as people.
Yeah.
And not just a cog in a machine. You know what I mean? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That really is. You had mentioned the non-conference record, but I mean, yeah, you said, well, we got the 2 losses, but man, that was like number 1 teams in the nation, Adrian College and then Geneseo. So, I mean, it stinks to lose, but
yeah, well, but if you look back at it, I mean, those are games we should have won, and that's why it's those 2 losses are so big, right? Like we're ranked 3, they're ranked 1 and 2 respectively. Like we should be 3. We lost to them. I'm no way changing our rank, but what we're happy with is like we know the top pressure that we're gonna get, the top competition. We held Geneseo to 13 shots before their 2 empty nets. They had 15 total all game. It was a 1-0 game with 2 empty net goals. Like with us, got called off. And I've heard Gary. I've heard the podcast where he told you what the ref said. You know what I mean? Like
right.
So that's a different game, right? And then not only that, the Adrian game, we shot ourselves in the foot. They had 3 out of 4 of their goals were on the power play. Why are we giving up that many power plays? You see what I'm saying? Like it's
There's things you go back, the chalkboard. It's all
the little
simple fixing. Yeah,
the little things. Even John's in it.
And John doesn't even know the full joke yet, and he's already getting it.
So yeah, when you look at it like that, it's those 2 losses are huge, right? So
yeah.
Even though they're top 2 teams, I mean they're good losses to have if you want to take a positive out of it.
Right.
But I don't want to take a positive out of it. We lost, right? So it's just it sucks, but that's why these next 2 with Curry and Oswego are so big, right?
They are. They're huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very big weekend.
Yeah, because even Oswego, they're not ranked, but they have votes. They're they're one of those teams receiving votes, so that goes a long way too.
Sure.
Right. And it's like we everybody that we have ever had on from UC or even Coach Gary, teams come in and give it their best in the odd.
Yeah.
Like it just automatically is going to happen because they don't, like you said, they don't play in a facility like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Oswego is the closest one.
Yeah. I would say Oswego has the nicest campus other than us, or nicest rank, especially on campus. They're probably top notch in the whole NCAA, but they're probably the closest thing that you're averaging consistently.
Right. And I mean, you come in with something like that, packed house. What's more motivating for a visiting team? Hey, look what we can do. We're playing in here, and let's shut this crowd up.
Yeah. See, I love playing at Oswego. I love it. It's so much fun. So no, you're right. Every team comes in here and plays our best. We never get a team's worst. That's the only bad thing about playing here. Is you never get a team's worst. But then again, that's a good bad thing to have.
That's exactly.
So yeah, it's awesome.
Very cool. I got a question for you. So I mean, obviously you guys have been off for like about we'll just say a month.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, having a break is nice. You get to recharge the batteries and all that. But let me ask you, as a player, would you rather have the break be a little bit shorter, or is a month just about right?
I don't mind it so much because it's not really much of a break for me. And with that, I mean, like I like the break itself. The time off is great. I need it to recover from my body. Like, normally at this point in the season, you have little bumps and bruises you got to take care of. So it's nice to get those 2 weeks off because it's really only 2 weeks. So we come back to practice early. We've been back here since the 28th practicing, so like when you think of it like that, it's really only like that last game, which I believe our last game was like December 11th or no, maybe December 4th, 5th. I don't know. And we practiced the week after that. Like we weren't done. So like after our last practice to our first practice, it was really only like 14 days. So it's really not that bad.
Sure.
And I like it because I get to, one, like I said, recover my body. You get to go back in the gym if you want to regain some muscle because you obviously lost some during the first half of the season,
Sure. Yep. Sure.
And, but at the same time, down in Virginia Beach with Kavanaugh and Osmondson, we skate almost every day. We'll take a couple of days off to rest at first, but then like when we get back, it's like, yeah, we're going to skate this day, and like, we'll just like look at the schedule, pick a time and go from there. So even though it's not a conditioning skate like a regular practice, it's like little areas of the game, like skill work and stuff like that, small shots, and find like shots through lanes, stuff like that. So it's like good to get out there and work on little skills. And so it's really not much of a break, but more so just a reset. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I love it. I'm really, that's one of my favorite things about the college level. Because the juniors, it was just right back into it.
Sure. So absolutely. Well, John, like I said, we really appreciate you taking the time to come on and chat with us. And this has been very fun. And I got to tell you something, man, you are welcome back anytime you want on this show. We had Jackson on a few weeks ago. We've had Coach Heenan on. One of these nights we'll have to have a big Utica College show, and we'll have a bunch of you guys on, and we'll talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Jax lives right down the road, right on the corner. Like I'm not kidding, like 8 houses down the road. So we'll definitely have to get them. We'll get all together, and we'll get on together.
Absolutely,
sure. That'll be a great time. I really appreciate you guys having me, though.
Absolutely,
hey, anytime, John.
Thanks, John, and good luck for the rest of the season. And absolutely, we will definitely see you this weekend.
Yeah, awesome, guys. All right, thank you.
All right, take care, buddy. Thanks.
Later.
All right, that was John Moncovich. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. That was a fun interview right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
look at that perfect timing.
I know, right? You can't get any better timing than this. Perfect. So, as I said earlier, this is something we've never done before, had multiple guests. But before we bring our guests in, I do want to pass along, there has been some sad news here in Central New York. Clinton Comets legend Archie Burton II has passed away at the age of 89. He played 5 seasons for the Comets and it just had a heck of a career with them. And, our condolences go out to the Burton family. That's it really is too bad. So now on to part 2. So before I bring our guests in, what I'm going to do, since I just love doing breakaway trivia, and I'm going to watch these guys, I'm going to see if I can stump them. Right?
What? All right.
So we're going to do a bit of breakaway trivia. All right. Breakaway trivia is, of course, brought to you by Jimmy the Iceman McNeil's children's book, The Red and White Zamboni Ice Machine. You can get your copy by emailing Jimmy at mac_iceman@hotmail.com. I have no idea where the guy, I think my daughter grabbed it and it's in her room somewhere. You need a steam shovel to get through there, so maybe next week. Anyways, the breakaway trivia question is, who is the first player in NHL history to have recorded 50 assists or more in 10 consecutive seasons? First guy to do it. What do you think, Professor? And I'll even tell you this: it wasn't Wayne Gretzky.
No, I know it wasn't Gretzky, but did he play with? No, he did not play with Gretzky in the Blues, did he?
No.
And I can't think of his name. I know he was a Blue.
You're right.
And was it a Blue? Yeah, I know it's a Blue, and I can't think of his name.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. This is how I'm going to segue into our guests. I'm going to bring our guests in and let them get a shot at it right off the get-go, all right? So first, he covers the Adirondack Thunder for thepuckauthority.com. He's a friend and a colleague of mine, great dude all around. He's been on the show before. It's Mr. Armand Klisevich. Armand, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You got a guess?
Oh, boy. No, I don't. I'm stumped here.
Okay, well, that's okay. We do know it's a St. Louis Blue. So I'm going to bring in our other guest, and we'll see if he's got a guess. A guess for a guess, right? He has been on our show a couple of times as well. It's always a fun interview, and we just love having him on so much. We had to have him back on again. He is the host of the Devil State of Mind podcast. It is the one, it is the only Mr. Neil Villapiano. Neil, how you doing?
I've had an interesting last 24 hours with this dang team that I cover. But other than that, I'm doing great, man. It's always a pleasure to come on and talk with you guys.
It's
Federico.
What do you think, Neil? Is he right?
I was going to say Adam Oates, actually.
That would have been a good guess too, but
it's Federico, right?
The professor got it.
Yeah.
Josh Giggs had Brett Hull and Bobby Orr close for Bobby. I would have thought Bobby Orr too, but no, it was
Bernie Federico. I don't know where. It's just I knew it was right here, and I'm like, why can't I think of his name? And I kept saying Fedotenko, but no.
No.
Ruslan Fedotenko.
There you go, right?
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Oh, man. It is, too. Oh, my goodness.
Yo.
All right. So the reason for the meeting of the minds here, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
We have got
everything. I wonder why.
Everything's burning down.
Reached out to me. I wonder why he reached out to me yesterday.
Everything's burning down.
And and just give Scott and Jeremy an update. Keith Kincaid, I still don't like. Let you know that I still don't like him. No,
I did start following him on Twitter right now.
So be careful! You might get blocked.
I'm gonna see how long it takes to get blocked on his.
You could get blocked and not say anything.
That's what I'm waiting for.
You say nothing, you get blocked. So just be careful.
Neil speaks from personal experience.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, fellas, we have just got mass chaos in the hockey world right now. Injuries, illnesses, and especially for a special concern for all of us involved, the New Jersey Devils. Because when the Devils start having problems, it filters down to the Utica Comets, and then it filters down to the Adirondack Thunder. See how this goes, right?
Right.
So, and I think this is probably the only show where you're going to find somebody who covers the Devils, the Comets, and the Thunder all together in one. So we can all drown in our sorrows together, right? So let's start off with the goaltending situation. Now, Neil's already reaching for the ibuprofen.
We went through this the last time. How much has really changed?
Nothing.
Well, a little bit has.
Nothing.
No, Jeremy was right. Nothing has changed.
Nothing.
Yeah, but listen, Blackwood's back now, right? He's probably going to be starting, I would say, at least 85% of the games.
95.
Right? Yeah, close enough.
95.
You got two backup goaltenders up there now, in John Gillies and Akira Schmid. What's going to give here? Are they going to continue to carry three goaltenders?
I think that they probably don't have much of a choice at this point. I mean, because look, this is something that has been sort of made out in public, but people are not talking about enough. Mackenzie Blackwood was dealing with a heel injury towards the end of last season, and then he ended up getting surgery during the off season. And for one reason or another, it hasn't fully. I don't know if you would say the surgery hasn't been a complete success. It's more of just been something where, because of the fact that he's playing so much and not getting enough rest in some of these games, he's overdoing it. He's overworking, and as a result, he ends up, having to play through it. And that's basically what he's decided to do. He's made it public that he's just going to play through the injury. Because we really don't have a choice. We don't have anybody legit right now that can come in and be a number one guy and play a considerable amount while Blackwood gets healthy. We can't take the risk of putting him on the IR and expect us to compete. So right now it's Blackwood's job. And with regards to both Akira Schmid and John Gillies, I mean, all they can do is just try to go in there when they get the opportunity, just try to make the best of it. I mean, Akira Schmid, I just don't feel like is ready for the NHL, and that's not a knock on him. I just think that everything's happening for him way too fast right now, and it's not entirely his fault. He's just gotten put in a bad situation. And then with John Gillies, I mean, John Gillies is going to be a fringe backup goaltender for the majority of his career. He doesn't have a lot of experience either playing in the National Hockey League. So we are once again dealing with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of inexperience behind Mackenzie Blackwood. So I would say that probably for now, unless the Devils decide to make another move, which they very well could, it's most likely going to be three goaltenders for the foreseeable future.
Very interesting. Because, and this is where Armand's going to come in, and Armand was a little wired when Merrick Mittens left.
Dude, I'd be wired. I love Mittens. Mittens is like my favorite player on the team.
He's got one of those great hockey names. It's like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I know he plays with the Americans and the Sabres. I just love saying the name. Anyways, we've been through that before too.
I'm only upset because I was waiting for him to get a shutout, and I wanted to use the Mittens for Mittens line.
We wanted to throw Mittens onto the ice. That's what we wanted to do.
We wanted to do a Mittens trick. But word out of Utica about a week or so ago was that Nico Dawes is still probably a few weeks away from coming back. So there's obviously.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way, Neil.
It's just getting worse. It's just getting worse.
Yeah. So I mean,
Armand is starting to realize what it's like being a fan of this organization. Every year, it's awful.
So we know that Mittens is pretty much going to be starting a lot of games for the Comets because right now they have a PTO backing them up in David Tomio, who we really don't know a lot about. But Armand, tell us about the goaltending situation in Adirondack, especially now that you got Kessel back.
Oh, you know what? The fact that we got Kessel back is the one thing that is saving this team right now. And last year I said, defender, they need 3 goaltenders because, as we all know, you never know what's going to happen with goaltenders. Mm-hmm. And I think we have all learned that is very true this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we signed Alex Akaropoulos at the beginning of the year, and, I was expecting him to, put up somewhat decent numbers, fight for the starting gig, and he's either on or he's off. There is no in between. I mean, right now, if you ask me, I think it's Kazel's net to lose. But when we don't have Kazel, it's basically Sakaropoulos and whatever goaltender is near wherever we're playing. Whatever guy off the street that has his gear that night is our e-bug. So our goaltending situation is changing by the minute.
Well, he just recently had a PTO with Hartford, didn't he?
He did, and then thankfully, because the weekend he got called up, we had a 3-3.
Oh, right. Oh, man.
So,
yeah.
And that's the other thing about the ECHL too. People forget that they do those 3-3s. I mean, that is
every weekend.
Yeah, because the AHL only does them once in a great while, whereas the ECHL, correct me if I'm wrong, they're quite common actually, aren't they?
Oh yeah. And I think with like all the rescheduling games, I think we have like a 4-5 at some point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because rest, who needs rest?
Yeah, nobody.
They're young. Don't worry about it. They're young. They can rebound quick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Sure.
I'm sure something could horribly go wrong.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the injuries.
God forbid we lose another goaltender.
Oh yeah, well,
I know this.
As long as you're part of the Devils organization, that's going to keep happening. So just buckle in, Armand. Just buckle in. You're in for a wild ride moving forward.
This is my second season, and it's already painful.
Yeah, well, you know what? You see, this is the thing. The pain of this organization goes all the way down to our ECHL team. That is how deep it is. And that's the thing. Nobody understands how deep this goes until you start talking about, how does it affect Utica? How does it affect Adirondack? I mean, shoot, man, if we had another minor league team, it would affect them as well. I mean, that's how bad it's so bad.
Like a root canal.
And we still wouldn't have enough goaltenders.
No, we don't. No, you know what? At this point, Adirondack should just call Marty and see if he wants to suit up for a couple of games. I'm sure it'd be fine.
Hey, there you go.
He could beat a bunch of young kids. I'm sure he could still show them a thing or two.
Hey, we'll take whoever has pads at this point.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hey, I mean, the rumor mill came out that people are going to reach out to Jaromir Jagr. So I mean, why not reach out to Marty?
Okay. I'll bring back Yogs to the Devils. I mean, he was our best player for a year and a half, which doesn't say a whole lot. I mean, they just showed like what recently, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. They were like, he scored a hat trick for the Devils, and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot that we like had Jagr, and we were like really old at that time.
Yeah,
and Jagr was our best player. I forgot that those were the days. Those were the days.
Well, the thing is, everybody forgets like Jagr played for like a dozen different NHL teams too. So I think just about anybody can go, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that year Jagr played for us. Yeah.
It's a short period of time.
Yeah.
But down on this, Mart, down on this, I can't believe that Tyler Irvine didn't stay up in Utica. Like he's been tearing it up down here. I'm surprised Utica's not giving him a longer shot.
Well, that's
I thought he was
here.
I thought he was still in Utica. Yeah.
Yeah, he played today.
He's there because we don't play. We don't play till Friday. Watch everyone on Friday. Everybody's gonna come back to us.
Well, We'll
we
see.
play
This
against
is how-
Saturday.
this
Yeah.
is- have
Yeah,
you
we
not?
got Friday and Saturday.
You
So
guys should know this by now. This is how it works. As soon as Monday morning hits, everybody gets called up, and then Friday morning, everybody gets sent back down.
Fair enough.
Is it a Friday, Saturday this weekend?
yeah,
Or is it
and
just
we're
Sat-
it's at home for the Comets this weekend. So it's Friday against Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and then Saturday is against
Saturday's their
Wolfpack.
Hartford. The
So-
Rangers, baby.
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday for us.
Of course, 3 and
Yeah,
3.
well,
Absolutely.
No, I think
there's
it's
a
better.
game Friday.
Friday at home, and then Saturday and Sunday on the road.
Oh wow. Well, hey, because you got to keep it interesting, right?
Of course.
Yeah, wouldn't I kill to have the Devils play 3 games in a row for once in my life? Jeez. That would be
Oh.
fun. He lied.
Well, I don't think that the goaltending situation is going to get solved for anybody anytime soon until the Devils send Schmidt or
It will
send
never
him
get
back
solved.
out, or
It will
honestly,
never
Orland
get
Dawson's
solved.
back. So I think we're
This will
all
never
kind of
end.
treading water.
This will
I
never
would say,
end.
honestly, like, and I know that this was talked about a little bit. I was like, you know what? You might as well just call up Tuukka Raska's agent and just see, just for the hell of it, just see. You know what? If he does, if Boston doesn't want to keep him, because I don't know, like, what would Boston be able to do? Like, I guess send down Jeremy Swayman, who I mean, I know Swayman's been up and down, but he's still like, how old is he? Like, what, 21, 20?
Yeah, he's young. Yeah.
Very young. With Tuukka Rask, I know he said that he wouldn't play for anyone but Boston, but how much playing time would Tuukka Rask really get, especially at this point in the season?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm being half serious when I say this as well. Like I know that it would never happen, but it's still, it's gotten to that point where we as an organization, we do a really good job of evaluating talent when it comes to the goaltending position. We have a lot of young goaltenders, not even that are in our system yet, that we've already drafted and that we haven't signed yet. But it's frustrating when guys can't seem to stay healthy. I mean, for the last 2 years, we signed Corey Crawford and decided to up and retire before ever playing a game for us. And then Jonathan Bernier plays a total of like 6 games and is out for the rest of the year with a hip injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where if you're a goaltender in this organization, you better be ready at a moment's notice, because most likely you're getting called up. And not only that, you're going to get called up probably early in the season because somebody's going to go down. And
Right.
And live in bubble wrap if you can.
I don't even think that would work. Honestly, I don't even think that would work. It's just, it's frustrating. So when Scott said, "Oh, let's talk about the goaltending," I'm like, "Oh, we'll talk about the same thing we
Great.
talked about the last episode." Which, newsflash, nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed.
Well, see,
Nothing has
Neil,
changed.
you got to understand there's a method to the madness, right?
Oh,
Because
of
I'm
course there
building
is,
this
Scott.
conversation from the goal out. So we've covered the
And I
goaltenders.
thought
onto
I
the
was
defense.
like, three goaltenders is going to be plenty for Adirondack. We'll have nothing to worry about. We'll have 2 goaltenders at all times. And look where we
Yep.
are.
Yep.
You know what? Here's the thing. Now, who would have thunk losing Scott Wedgwood to waivers was going to hurt so much?
Yeah.
Don't even bring that up.
So, anyways, I'll end it with that.
No,
Just
you know
because-
what? How good is he really doing in Arizona right now?
I know, right?
I mean,
But
how much do we really miss Scott Wedgwood right now?
just for warm bodies.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it's, I don't know. You know, they might as well just go and bring back Keith Kincaid just to really piss me off.
Yeah. See why not?
You're not playing right now. I mean, what the heck, right? Oh, jeez.
Well, here, Neil, I'm gonna make your night. I'm not gonna talk about the
Oh,
goaltenders
yeah,
anymore.
no. Just why don't you just keep
So
twisting the knife, Scott, while we're at it?
Let's talk about the defense, shall we?
Go ahead, say it. I know what you want to talk about, so just talk about it. Let's just get it out there,
This is
Scott.
better and better, isn't it?
Yep.
Scott, just talk about it. I know you want to talk about it, so let's get it over with.
Well, I think it has
Pull
to
off
be because
Band-Aid.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, with
do
Dougie
it.
Hamilton,
Yeah,
there it
surgery
is.
and will be out indefinitely.
You know what that means? You want to know in Devil's word? You know what indefinitely means? He's not coming back.
He's
this
not
season.
coming back.
No,
Yeah.
no. He will He will eventually go from indefinitely to day, and then get the Mike Camilleri disease of he's just day to day for the rest of the season, and then we find out later. Oh, not only did he break his jaw, he like broke his nose, got a concussion.
Had a concussion. Yeah.
You know, divorced his wife. I mean, you know, just left and like we'll find out after the season when it means nothing to us. And I'm not mad at Dougie Hamilton for getting hurt.
No.
That's not his fault. Like, it just sucks.
Well, I guess what it means is is Kevin Ball going to be staying with the Devils for all the foreseeable future now? He's still on the taxi squad, I believe.
He got recalled from the taxi squad today for practice.
Okay.
So there's a pretty good chance that he will probably play a decent amount moving forward. And that's mainly just because, we need bodies. I mean, to be quite frank, we just don't have, and the biggest issue just as a whole organization is that we just have too many guys with very little NHL experience. We're still the youngest team in the National Hockey League, even with the additions that we made. And again, you can't prepare for these type of situations where several of your key players are out, especially your number one defenseman that you got in the offseason to get a major jaw injury and be out long term. Like, you just were not prepared for that.
Sure.
So it's a very...
Who knew that was coming?
So I'm excited for Kevin Ball, though. I'm looking forward to him playing and just continuing to develop because, he doesn't always make a huge impact in these NHL games, but he's there. You can see that he's slowly starting to get it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like watching about him.
Right. And when you're 6'6", your wingspan can make up an awful lot of ground, too.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Today's Comets game, which, by the way, they played at 1:00 this afternoon, they unfortunately lost to the Toronto Marlies in Toronto by a score of 64. Tyler Wotherspoon, who was actually, I believe, leading the AHL in plus-minus, did not play. For whatever reason, again, we really don't know the reason behind some of the scratches.
They just said he was not playing? They just said he was out?
It was just...
he's going to get put on the COVID list tomorrow.
So he might have been on a bus heading to you guys. Who knows?
I doubt it. I doubt it, but why not?
Right? But
honestly, he wasn't that bad in the preseason. Like, he actually was half decent.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you what, he's been great in Utica this year. He really has.
I believe Neil. I believe Neil's point. He's going to be put on the COVID list.
It's going to happen,
and then it's going to scratch the rest of the weekend's games for the Comets.
Well, no, it's not, because Armand, there's got to be somebody down in Adirondack that we can call up on defense, right?
No.
Look at him.
Let me put it this way: we signed a guy out of retirement.
Yeah.
We played one game, so we can have 6 defense.
Yeah.
Ken Danico.
Oh, KG. There you go. That's you have to. Everybody has to understand. Scott only brings me on when this type of stuff happens because he wants me to be upset because he enjoys that.
No,
listen. Adirondack started what? 7 defensemen, and now we're down to what? 4, 5.
But in all seriousness, Armand, is there anybody in Adirondack that is really catching your eye as far as the defense core down there? That's healthy.
If you speak it into existence, he won't be on the team tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Just give us a number then. Don't say the name.
Even that might be pushing it.
That might be pushing it. Give him ice time. How much ice time?
The only name that could get called up would be Blake Thompson, who got the AHL PTO.
Really?
Jake Rysek's played well lately. But please, you've already taken our goaltenders. Just don't take our defenseman too.
It's not like we have a choice. I mean, I don't know what you want. Like, it's one of those things.
Street? Sign somebody.
Sign somebody? Who are we signing right now? Who is available in free agency right now?
I don't know.
That's the point. You don't know because there is none.
There's got to be someone.
Armand's going to be cutting the phone lines to the Cool and Shearing Arena pretty soon.
Shoot, man, I'll go and play for them if they really want. If we're really that desperate,
we are.
Boy, oh boy,
Jesus. Armand is going to like hate being a fan of the Devils just because of this. Just because of this, you just can't stay healthy.
Last year, we had Evan Cormier, and it was like one night he was up here, the next day he was in Binghamton, and I looked at him. I had an interview with him. I said, "What's it like going back and forth every single day?" And he goes, like, "Well, it's the business." And I'm like,
"No,
and Scott, thank God, he should have had mittens because so that he knew where the rink was."
Dude,
Yeah, well, that too. That's a
We don't need
that's a
anybody getting
fantastic
lost.
story of yours. That's yeah, because apparently Mittens didn't know where Utica was, even though he'd already been there.
No, so Neil, you got to hear the story. So this reporter, Mint had been up here probably 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And so this reporter looks at Mint one night after a game, and he goes, "So did you have trouble getting to Adirondack?" And I looked at the guy. I was like, "Did you do no research before you like decided to start asking questions?" Like, I'm like, he's been up here. He was up here for training camp. He was called up twice. Like, I would hope he can find the rink by now. Like,
And he's like, I have no idea where Utica is.
Yeah, where is it? I got a GPS.
Let me look that up on my map real quick. I mean, to be fair, when Ken Danico got drafted by the Devils, his immediate reaction was, "Where the hell is New Jersey?" So I mean, it's not like it's uncommon. So.
Oh, by the way, Dom must be done with work because he's in the comments section right now. Armand, he says, Armand is broken. We broke him. So
Yeah,
I don't know if it was us, Dom. I just think it's the whole entire situation.
where is Dom? Where is Dom?
He had to work late.
Dom
so
had to work
okay,
late.
he had to work late.
Dom
All
had to
right,
work.
So he can jump on anytime he wants, but he's probably having dinner or something because he did. He worked like a 12, 13-hour day today or something ridiculous.
Fair enough.
So, but anyways, let's shift gears from the defenseman to the forward group. Now,
well, finally a bright
this
spot.
week, I think we all had a little, shall we say, reaction to Nico Hischier blocking a shot from Alexander Ovechkin. That looked like it was ridiculously painful. And there was reports that he had a broken foot. So, Neil, what are you hearing?
All right. So first of all, I can't really share who exactly I got the information from, but it's a relatively reliable source that has been right about the majority of the stuff. Like when we got Lindy Ruff, it was, nailed it on the head.
Sure.
Different free agent signings nailed it on the head. The initial reports that we got before the Devils announced it,
Right.
which I have a rant about that, but I don't know if I should say it here or wait for my own podcast episode to say it. I might go both. We'll see where this conversation goes. I might go down that road. The reports that we got was that we knew Dougie Hamilton was going to be out with some sort of facial fracture. We knew that. We knew it wasn't good when he didn't come back in the game and all that stuff.
Sure.
But then we found out, oh no, it's not just Dougie. This is a lot worse. And we were like, what do you mean worse? And he goes, it's multiple players. And I'm like, with what? It said, well, Nico, I think, broke his foot. They're saying and the initial diagnosis, the initial reaction right away was a broken foot because he couldn't put any weight on it after the game against Washington. He couldn't put any weight on it. So the initial reaction before they got any scans or anything was that he completely broke his foot. And then we got word that Pavel Zacha, Yegor Sharangovich were going to go on the COVID list, which at least from that perspective, not the end of the world because they're only out 5 days and they'll be back. And then we found out, oh yeah, Jonathan Bernier is going to be done for the year, which
you knew.
Which we already kind of knew anyway. But the fact that all of that news came out at once, it was just like, wait, what? And for Nico, yesterday was his birthday. So he gets this we get this announcement on his birthday that, he potentially broke his foot. And knowing the way that I've seen this before, if you break your foot, the chances of him coming back this year is pretty slim to none. So our initial reaction, as Scott saw when I made several announcements about it on social media, was not only did we lose Dougie Hamilton, but we're losing Nico Hischier as well. On a 3-game winning streak just when things started to get going again, which is obviously frustrating. And then later on, we found out that it may not necessarily be a broken foot as more of it's just a major bruise to his foot. And the Devils said last night after the game against Boston that it all depends on his pain tolerance. So there is a possibility that he will suit up tomorrow against Columbus. I don't know how much of a possibility that is, but he's going to try to play through it, and it's all about pain tolerance.
Sure.
I'm not necessarily thrilled about that because I'm worried about him making it worse than what it is right now.
Right.
But he wants to try to play, and I respect him for it because he is the captain. And we need him. We need him in many different ways. And he just started getting hot on the score sheet as well. He played with supposedly a broken foot against the Capitals and scored 2 goals and the game winner in overtime. I mean, that's pretty remarkable to me if it really was a broken foot, which we don't know for 100% certainty if it's a broken foot or a bruised foot. And he's listed as day-to-day, which Scott, Jeremy, Armand, you all are hockey fans. You know damn well when someone is day-to-day, they're not really day-to-day.
Oh.
It's just, we'll see what happens moving forward. And then we'll find out later on at the end of the season, he shattered his foot and was playing on half a leg. Something totally bizarre.
That's so crazy about the playoffs. It always comes out after.
Happy you brought that up.
I could tell that Scott was so confused by why was somebody like me, a podcast host, why did I have more information about the players on this team than the only supposed reporter that we actually have for the team? Well, number one, the lovely Amanda Stein, who covers this team, she works for the team. She's not an independent reporter like for the Bergen news or anything like that. So she unfortunately cannot tell us anything unless the team wants us to know what's going on. So we don't have any insiders. We don't have what a lot of other teams have, which are people that can give us information several hours before it actually happens. So a lot of us have relatively insider information, not just me. You saw it through Devil's Twitter yesterday. It wasn't just me saying it. It was several people that threw it out there, and it was all consistent. And that was a big topic of discussion. Why do we not have at least 1 or 2 people that independently cover this team? I don't understand it. It's very frustrating. And the fact that we had to find out, that all of us had to find out through anonymous sources is incredibly frustrating in itself. But going back to Nico, I cannot tell you anything that you people don't already know. That's just all I can say.
Yeah.
It went from he's got a broken foot, going to be out long term, to, he may just play tomorrow, which was kind of stunning to all of us. We were like, where did that come from? Why did that come out all of a sudden? It's hard to figure out what is the honest truth. And maybe we'll know more tomorrow when the Devils play Columbus. But having these amount of injuries to key players with a team that's trying to get back in the playoffs is very frustrating, because look how many good teams are ahead of us that have not dealt with a single problem since the season started. I mean, what's the most major thing the New York Rangers have dealt with since the season started? Panarin's been out, but has it really affected the team? No. I mean, they're in first place in the They're in first place in the NHL.
Right.
Shesterkin got hurt for like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, but remember, even that was like a Nico situation. Everybody thought he was like done for.
Everybody thought he was done for the year.
No, and they were like, "Nah, he just strained himself. He's fine," and apparently he is. Look at Tampa Bay. I mean, what? Oh, Kucherov isn't playing. Well, is it affecting him at all? Is it bugging them? I mean, like, it's the Devils have dealt with the craziest stuff for the longest time, and I don't understand it. I don't get why we keep getting so much adversity for such a young team that is just trying to compete. And we have to constantly, as Armand is starting to see with this, we have to once again start calling up a bunch of people just to have bodies in the lineup every single night. And I don't know if it's we're not developing these guys physically. I don't know. But the Nico Hischier news is no. I really don't know what's going on at this point. I'm about as lost as everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, well, and I got to tell you, I mean, just because you brought Amanda, I actually owe her an apology because I wrote an article for Marty's, our website. Mm-hmm. I was reading on her Twitter, and I kind of lumped everything together as far as the Hamilton timeline and all that. And I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's especially if you saw that. And I understand that he finished the game. But Jeremy will tell you, I mean, if anybody who's, ever played, obviously taking a shot to the foot hurts like all get out. But
it feels like
especially from Alexander Ovechkin. Yeah,
no kidding.
It feels
right?
like
I mean, none of us are going to
take not there. Like it feels like it's nothing's there. Like it's gone.
Sure.
Like you look down, and you're like, oh yeah, it's there, but it's not in there.
exactly.
Yeah. And then you take that skate off. And that's when because now everything just starts blowing up like a balloon.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I almost wonder if they couldn't do an X-ray because there was too much swelling to the ankle. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm just some dude who's shooting off at the mouth right now, you know. But it does kind of seem to me that there's still going to be some Comets that we're playing regular minutes for the Comets that are still going to be up in New Jersey for a while. You know, like especially
Utica's going to be depleted for a while.
Oh yeah,
I'm just being very honest with you. Utica is going to be depleted for a while because we just need bodies, and it's unfortunate because Tom Fitzgerald didn't want this. He didn't want to have to get into a situation where we had to call up people unnecessarily, so to speak. Like we called up Holtz the first time, not because we needed to, but because we wanted to, because we liked what we were seeing down there.
Right.
Now bringing Holtz back. We need Holtz. It's not like we need that type of player here. Nolan Foote, same thing. We need that type of player in the lineup. Mm-hmm. Why Nolan Foote didn't play yesterday is beyond me, but we'll play Mason Geertsen 15 minutes a night to do nothing at all.
I literally saw that and said the same thing.
Isn't it great to see how Alexander Holtz gets his second call-up of the year, and his first game back he plays on the fourth line?
Yeah,
welcome to being a New Jersey Devils fan, guys, where nothing makes any sense.
He's not. I mean, he's not built for a fourth line guy. He's not. I mean, it's not. I mean, I get it. He's young.
He's just not a fourth liner.
He's not a fourth liner. That's not what he does. He doesn't.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're going to play him on the fourth line, you might as well keep him in Utica. I mean, I'm just being as honest as I can be. Because you're wasting his time, you are slowing his development, and you're not giving him a fair opportunity. Same thing with Nolan Foote. Why bring him up if you didn't even play him last night?
Right.
What was the point of that? Right. And we have 2 games against Columbus starting tomorrow. I want to see those 2 guys not only playing, but I would at least like to see Nolan Foote on the third line. I don't think that's too hard to ask for. I don't really think it's that hard. Alexander Holtz needs to be on the top 6. I don't care. He needs to be there because this is what he's built for. He's built to score. Yeah. And we're not giving him the opportunity to score if we're playing him on the fourth line.
Right.
So
that's exactly right.
Well, Armand,
I completely agree with you. I'm not even a Devils guy, and I completely agree with that.
Yeah. Well, you got to put players where their strengths are. And that's,
Kevin Dineen seems to be doing that.
Yeah, no doubt. Right. And Neil, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, and Jeremy too. Alexander Holtz is not a fourth line guy. He's not going to be the grinder. He's not going to be that guy that's going to go into the corners and get dirty. You know what? He is I kind of look at him as like a Alex Ovechkin light at this point, without the physicality. You just want him hammering that puck. That's what you want him.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Yeah.
So
and I will just say this as well. This is not a guarantee. This is just information that I have. There is a very likely possibility that Lindy Ruff will not be here after this season, unless the Devils make the playoffs and do something. If they missed out on the playoffs again, and especially if they finish roughly in the bottom 16, in the final 10, there's going to be changes again because. And I've mentioned this before on Devil's State of my podcast. This team is too talented to be playing the way it was playing. I mean, granted, we've won 3 of our last 4 and almost beat Boston in Boston last night. So it's not like we're still in the bad position that we were a few weeks ago. But at the same time, Lindy Ruff is on thin ice. I mean, he has to get this going. And I understand that it's unfortunate with Dougie going to be out long term.
Right.
We haven't even gotten Miles Wood back yet this season. Jonathan Bernier's out. We have no idea what's going to happen with freaking Nico Hischier at this point.
Right.
There's a lot of adversity, but at the same time, you got to find a way to fight through it, and you got to find a way to still compete and win games with these guys out. So, I mean, I would just say I wouldn't make a good bet to say that Lindy Ruff I would imagine that if he's getting moved, it'll be after the season. I don't think that they'll do it. If they were going to do it during the season, it would have happened already. I'll just be honest with you. It would have happened already.
That makes sense.
Because look at Vancouver. Vancouver's 9-0-1 since Bruce Boudreau took over. I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. The Devils, it's an interesting spot to be in right now. But this is in some ways, this is a very franchise-defining moment right now for this organization with the amount of major news that we've gotten with some of our key players. And it's just a matter of how do these guys respond to it all?
Yeah. And I definitely agree that there's really, I would not rush Nico Hischier back. I get the guy is incredibly tough and wants to play. I got all the respect in the world for that.
Right.
But you want to make sure that ankle, foot, whatever it is that's hurting is 100% before, you go out there and try to push it. And then the next thing you know, maybe there was a little bit of a hairline fracture in there somewhere that an X-ray missed or whatever.
Right.
Now you just made a really bad situation.
Oh, yeah.
But Armand, Neil just said Utica is going to be depleted for a while. So we are borrowing some players from you.
So we're going to deplete you.
So
Don't worry, we'll go to the SPHL.
Chain reaction, folks.
We're gonna, and then we're gonna go to the SPHL and find somebody to fill in.
Here's my question. So
Yeah, dude, go to the USPHL. I'm sure they will have players to play.
Absolutely. They will.
I mean, I covered that league. I broadcast for that league. There's some players in there that could play.
Sure.
They could do it. Why not? I don't care.
Absolutely. They got some really cool teams down there, too. I got to tell you. But
shout out to the Jersey Shore Whalers of the USPHL, team I covered.
Hey, there you go.
So shout out to those guys. That's actually, their team is actually owned by Jim Dowd, a former Devil himself. So there's a fun fact for all of you ladies and gentlemen.
I did not know that. Very cool. So Armand, we've got to look as Comets fans at Sammy LaBerge and Tyler Irvine. We know what they can do. Tell us a little bit about Grasso and Jordan Kaplan, who was the other one that was called up.
Grasso.
Like the Kaplan move. The Kaplan move surprised me because Kaplan hasn't done much this year. He's had his bursts, of playing well, but he hasn't been, he's been a guy who, when we need forwards, which, is 99% of the time, but when we don't, he tends to be a healthy scratch lately. And, I think he had 4 or 5 games where he was a healthy scratch and then came back and scored. So I was surprised to see a guy like him get a call up. I think maybe they just want to give him playing time. I mean, we saw a lot of guys go up to Utica and Adirondack had their COVID outbreak.
Right.
Lovely.
Yeah, we had one of those. Those are great. Yeah.
Dude, gotta love it.
But I have to be honest. The one thing I'm really loving for Adirondack this year is the Nick Rivera, Tyler Irvine, and Patrick Grasso line. That line has been probably the best line for Adirondack this year. Not too flashy, you're getting goals from Irvine, but it's not. Besides Irvine, I don't expect that to be the scoring line. I expect MacArthur to do more. Shane Harper, who, fun fact when you said this day-to-day thing, Neil. So he gets hurt in training camp, and my source goes, he's got a broken jaw. He's going to be out 6 weeks, right? So I go into the press conference knowing this, and I ask Coach about this. He goes, he's day-to-day.
Is your coach related to Bill Belichick by chance?
I was like, okay, we're going to be day-to-day for a while here, aren't we? Day-to-day for the next 6 weeks, yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude.
But that's, you know what? I got to tell you.
That's my favorite line. Day-to-day, upper body injury.
But obviously people get aggravated with hockey because they're not always so forthcoming about injuries and stuff like that. But I think that's pretty much across sports. And it's so frustrating because, dude, in
the NFL, if somebody gets hurt, they just immediately say, Adam Schefter today goes, oh, by the way, just to let you guys know, I tore my ACL.
Yeah.
He just comes on and says it. But if you say in hockey what you hurt, what's the worst that's going to happen? You can't play anymore? You weren't playing anyway. I don't understand. Are you going to get? Is it like the mafia? Is it like if you speak out loud, you're going to get taken out? I don't understand. Why it's so hard to just say, all right, the dude broke his leg. That's all we know. He broke his leg. It's what you think is exactly what it is. He broke his leg. What's so dumb is that they said before, Dougie Hamilton has an upper body injury. We know what it is. He broke his jaw. We saw it. We're not stupid.
His jaw is hanging off his body. It's broken. We know
It's on the floor. It's on the floor. He's been spitting chiclets. It's everywhere. But no, it's just called upper body. So I mean, it's just like, if you get hit in the stomach, if you have like a stomach tear, is that upper or lower body? Like, what are we calling that?
That's a good
They're
question.
gonna say middle body injury.
Yeah.
Right, they'll change. They'll create a new term, middle body.
Well,
There we
that's what I
go.
was going to say with Dawes. With Dawes, he had a hip injury, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
That wasn't lower body,
Did
right?
you just say that Nico Dawes has a hip injury? No, please tell me you didn't just say that. That's what his injury is.
No.
Actually, we're not even
No.
really
But like, is that what he's dealing? Like, do we know for a fact what he's dealing with, or are they just not telling you?
I thought it was a knee injury, but but again, it's all very.
If it's the dreaded hip injury, which would be the third Devil this year to have a hip injury, he's not coming back. They're lying to you.
He's day to day.
Yeah,
They're lying to you. Let me just tell you this one out. They are lying to you. They're lying to everybody. If he has a hip injury, he's going to be like Miles Wood, like Jonathan Bernier. He's not going to play. Period. I'm so sick of this. Can I just get my hip?
I love getting him going.
I
Getting him
brought
going.
this up a while ago because I was talking to Molly Walker a while back. I said, what do we do with coaches who just like won't give us a she goes, you got to do. You got to ask them. Well, is this something we expect long term? I was like, that's a good point, but still, nobody tells anybody anything.
Yeah, and they will never tell you. So good luck with that.
It's secret agent stuff.
Oh,
My
dude,
question is for you, Scott. Where the hell has Michael Makovich been?
He played today.
Really? He's playing now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look at
I mean,
that.
we've been the Comets haven't lost Kevin Ball.
Well, you guys don't have much,
The tech-
do you?
Yeah, and Wotherspoon being out, and again, I got to believe that was not a healthy scratch today. And you know what? Now I think about it, I don't think he played New Year's Eve either. Now that I think about it,
I have no idea.
against Lehigh
I don't know
Valley, I
either.
don't think he was in the lineup.
Didn't I hear a
So-
rumor that he might be going to the Olympics, or am I dreaming?
Yes, you did.
Did I
see
hear that?
Darren
I remember I
Drager
read the
reported
list
that
for
the other day.
was it Team Canada. I read the list of like potential like 30 players,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh look, there's Owen Power, Mason McTavish. All right, I could see that. Devin Dubnyk, I love it, love to see it. And then Tyler Witherspoon, and I'm like, why? Like, is it that bad? Are we that? Is it that? Or is everybody that depleted? I
Well,
was like, disrespect to Tyler Witherspoon. I mean, he's been killing it, but still, like, it's interesting. It's very interesting to me.
yeah, but if you think about it, though, without the NHLers going, right? You're right. I mean, it's Tyler
He
Witherspoon.
doesn't
was kind of a name
technically
that
have a
caught me off guard.
contract with the Devils, so he would be allowed to go over there.
Right.
Right.
But
'cause
here's
he's
the
not-
thing, too, though. I mean, he'll bring some veteran experience to that team. You know,
Well,
and you
that's
can't have a team full of superstars. That's
Right.
you know.
No, they have Devin Dubnyk. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have Devin Dubnyk, they'll be fine.
Hey! Great idea.
How does he
Why not
not
bring him
yeah,
in?
How does Dubnyk not have a job? I'd like to know that.
Well,
You know,
especially in New Jersey.
Well, he will soon.
honestly,
Especially in New Jersey, yeah.
honestly, there are two names that come to my mind when it comes to like meme goaltenders, so to speak. It's Devin Dubnyk and like Ben Scrivens.
Oh man.
I love Scrivens, even though I think Scrivens did retire. Though I believe he did.
I think he did.
I don't think he's playing in the league anymore, which is a shame.
But,
which is-
you know, I'll tell you what though, if the Devils are going to make a move to get another goaltender, they better do it quick because Cam Talbot is out indefinitely now. That dreaded indefinitely for the Minnesota Wild.
When did he get hurt?
That was the Winter Classic.
Yep.
So you mean the game that I covered on
Yeah.
YouTube that I watched? He got
Well,
hurt.
Yeah,
Is that why he gave up 6 goals in the second period?
that's what they're saying.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
He's out indefinitely. I think it's
He's out for
lower
the rest
body.
of the season. Anybody who says indefinitely means he's done. Just not coming back, period. If you're Minnesota, you might as well call up Jesper Wallstedt right now. Like, you might as well do it. You might
Right.
as well.
Right?
He made 50 saves for Sweden in the World Juniors. I think he's ready. Zetterlund and DeLeo played good today. Chase
They did.
DeLeo, I'm so sorry, does nothing on the Devils. He's had 3 chances to do something. And
Yeah,
every
but
time he comes up, he does nothing.
I'll tell you what, though. I think Fabian Zetterman is going to be dynamite at some point.
Uh-huh.
He's
Yeah, if
gonna
he
be
gets
a
the right coach
fantastic-
in New Jersey, then yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm telling you that guy plays just wicked hard. He really
He
does.
does.
He's always on the forecheck. He's got an underrated shot, if you ask me.
He's got
But-
confidence coming out his ears.
Yep, that's the other thing too. He's got a lot of confidence right now.
I think we
And my
talked about
daughter's in
last
love
time.
with him. So
When he
Look
came
out,
to New
Fabian.
Jersey when he was first called up, the first thing he said, because this was when Utica was on their streak to begin the year, he was like, "Oh, I'm bringing that 11-game winning streak to this Devils team." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Where did this kid? Like, what the heck?" Like, that's
Yeah.
saying something right there.
Yeah. Who's
And
this kid?
granted,
You doing
we
the
stuck him on the
Messier
fourth line
guarantee?
because
Yeah.
anybody who gets called up to this team is getting stuck on the fourth line. Like that's your introduction to the NHL. Oh, you're getting called up. That's great. Fourth line.
it's the
Like,
portal.
honestly. Or
Yeah.
like fourth pairing defenseman.
Yeah, I know.
Which doesn't exist.
Oh boy.
Well, you
just
know
wanna
what? According,
I just wanna see
unlike
Kevin Ball
unlike
win
all of you
something.
guys, where you guys get 4 lines, we get 3 in the ECHL.
That's great.
Yeah, we get head forward and 6 defensemen.
Yeah, Armand's team. The Thunder get our scraps. Just to be quite honest.
Until
Quite
you need
honest.
them again. Until you need them again.
I know, right?
Right.
I'm
Until
seriously, though,
once we find somebody of value, you're gonna lose them very quickly.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
Oh, he scored 2 goals tonight. Let's bring him back up to Utica.
Or he'll
Where
just
are
skip
the Thunder
Utica.
standings,
No,
though?
I want to see somebody get called up from the ECHL into the
Straight
NHL.
to the
I wanna
depth.
see-
That's what I want to see. Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
see one time, just like it's the way this is going. It's gonna get to that point with the Devils injury wise. It's just gonna be like, we'll just bring up somebody from the ECHL. I'm sure it can't totally go wrong.
It's gonna be what? It's gonna be Casel. Watch, it's gonna be Casel because he's played so well. But everything
Well,
that's
if he's
good,
playing so well in
everything
the
that's going in our
ECHL,
favor, you guys have to snatch out of our hands.
and you know what that means? If he's playing well in the ECHL, that means he will do absolutely 100% nothing in the NHL. That means nothing. I'm sorry, Armand. That means nothing to me.
Well, then good, then we can keep him.
Armand, let me ask you, Armand, can he put the puck on net? Like, does he shoot the puck? Answer the question. Does he shoot the puck? Yes or no? What does he do? Please tell me what he does.
Puts the skates on.
No, here's the thing. By him not giving me an answer, that tells me he's a fourth liner. That just tells
That's
me.
all you need.
Well,
That's all
everybody's
you-
a fourth liner
that's
from
all
what
you
you're
need.
saying.
That's what
No,
this team needs,
Armand,
fourth line.
what does he do?
Who?
The guy you just mentioned.
I'm talking about Casel and their goaltender that you guys are probably
Yeah,
going to
the
need another
goaltender.
week.
He's a goaltender. Oh, that's what I wanted to know. Like, is he like? I didn't know what position he was.
Irvine could be a very good forward. That's good.
No.
Hey.
I don't want Tyler Irvine. I saw him play in the AHL. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed. It's like, honest. I love Tyler. Didn't Irvine play for Hershey at one point, right?
I
don't
believe
think-
he did.
No, I don't think so.
I could have sworn he played for Hershey.
I know he was in Binghamton last year.
Yeah. What is Binghamton? I don't recall. I don't recall that name.
I don't know who Binghamton is.
Man,
Forget who they were.
Oh,
Oh
geez.
boy.
But no, I just.
No,
I
he
just-
played it. No, he never played at Hershey.
He's
All right,
in that.
come on.
Okay.
Does the Thunder have anybody, and I mean anybody, that can put the puck in the back of the net? Just yes or no?
Besides for Irvine, no.
Oh my God, it's
You
that
asked the
awful.
Neil, aren't you glad you came on tonight?
Oh, dude, I'm loving every single second of this. It's not
I mean,
even. 1 o'clock,
every
and I'm
guy
dying.
you call up doesn't score. So, like, I don't know why these guys are getting called up.
Scott, how do you think I feel knowing I still have to do a podcast episode tonight?
Yes.
I have to.
We're just getting you prime, buddy. That's all
Oh
we're
yeah,
doing.
no, that's great. I'm just gonna like you're just gonna hear me on the podcast like sniffling.
LeBron get like 3 goals. Like,
Bro, I'm gonna do the Stephen A. Smith like I'm tired of suffering. I'm just tired of it.
we all are. We all are.
No, but Armand, you don't understand. You've just started covering this team. You haven't experienced the pain yet. The pain is coming, and you're not gonna like it. You're gonna message me on Twitter because I know you follow me now. You're gonna message me on Twitter and be like, "Yo, why does everybody made a glass on the Devils?" I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I really wish I had an answer. And you know what?
Welcome to the team, buddy.
We're playing Columbus. Columbus has been terrible of late. There is no excuse that we can't go and win 2 games in a row against them. There's literally no excuse. Thank you, Jordy, for saying that. It is
Very
it's
true.
fun to watch the chaos of the New Jersey Devils. Absolutely. And it's fun to have Neil on to talk about it too, because it's
I know. I know it's fun. I know it's fun for you. So you know what? If it gets this bad, we'll just bring up Luke Hughes 2 years early.
there
Why
you go.
not?
There you go.
I mean,
And then Jeremy will be upset because that means he's leaving Michigan early. So then everybody can be upset about something.
Jeremy already doesn't like the Devils. Like, he already doesn't like them. He's just not going to like them anymore. He's going to dislike them more if we do that.
Yeah.
He's just going to upset
100%.
He's also going to be upset when Jim Harbaugh leaves Michigan to coach the Raiders.
No, I actually like the Raiders.
Well,
I'm a Raider guy.
There you go.
But, I mean, he doesn't – I don't think he should leave anyway. But, I mean, I think if he goes anywhere, he'll probably end up in Chicago.
Jim Harbaugh, I don't want him back in the NFL.
Neither do I.
I'd like him continuing to choke at Michigan.
He didn't choke too bad this year.
Yeah, he got the doors blown off him by an SEC team.
Oh, well, I mean, I think everybody gets their doors blown off by an SEC team. I mean, it is the junior. I mean, it's like it's the junior league for the NHL. It's the SEC.
You know, it's bad. You know the SEC is getting better when Kentucky won 10 plus games this year and a bowl game.
Wow.
It's just getting worse.
True.
And I'm speaking as a Rutgers fan watching. Oh my God! At least we made a bowl game. On a technicality, but we made.
I was gonna say you were like the third team in.
We were the second team in. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we were the first ones because we're smart. We have a good academic record, so we got in because of it.
Yeah,
because we're good at football. And I mean, to be fair, Jeremy's a fan of a university that has a Division I hockey program, while Rutgers is a club team. So you kind of
they're getting there.
There it goes. By the way, Scott, love the Utica jersey behind you, my friend. Love it.
I like that. That was a Christmas present.
Dude, what player is that? Or is that your name on the back?
That's my number. Yeah, I've always like 13. My wife and kids got it for me. I love it.
So does that make you a Nico Heischer fan, like automatically?
No, Nico Heischer is a fan of me because I had 13 first.
Ah, no wonder.
Oh, boy.
Dude, so were you the one that was the creator of I Love to Hockey? Was that you?
No.
That was all you.
And believe me, I say all that facetiously because I'm sure Nico Heischer is not paying attention to our beer league. So,
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, especially with the amount of time he's going to have to be on social media moving forward. He probably will watch it. You gotta start streaming those, Scott. You gotta start streaming those, man.
I guess so,
dude. I'll even come down for a weekend. I'll broadcast the game for you.
Oh, that'd be out of control. That would be awesome.
We'll do pre and post game interviews. It'll be great.
Oh boy,
it'll be perfect.
It'll be awesome.
Terrible.
You know what? I did want to say this though. The only person on this stream that knows what it feels like to get a shot, to block a shot that you don't feel anything is probably Jeremy.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Even though he got hit in a place that probably is a lot worse. I'm just going to be really honest with you.
Is that swelling gone down yet, by the way?
Oh, it's gone. Okay. It's all gone.
There you go.
It's all gone.
Just checking.
No more bruise. No more. I mean, it still hurts. I might have a bone bruise, but
Scott's going up to the fourth line.
I'm going. Are you kidding me? I'd be happy to be the equipment manager. Are you kidding me?
Hey, there you go. You can start pulling guys off the bench like as managers, equipment guys.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful if you come to a Devils game in Jersey because they might look at you and be like, "Can you skate?" You might need to quarantine and stay away because otherwise, if you have legs and you can breathe, you might be able to play. I'll just let you know that. Why do you think I haven't been to a game in a month?
I was actually thinking about coming down for a game the 23rd, but I want to make sure the schedule is still going to stay on track before I.
Well, let me know. I'll show you guys a good time.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, dude, we'll have a great time. Have a couple beers and
we'll live stream that.
Oh yeah, no, we'll live stream that. That'll be the price of admission.
Right there.
You could just hear us. You could just hear us just say Rangers suck about 30 times during the game.
Yeah.
We're not even playing the Rangers. We're not playing them. Then again, Rangers fans say Potvin sucks and he hasn't played in about what? What we pushing like 40 plus years?
Gotta be, yeah. Gotta be 30
plus years. Is that what that is?
Pretty much.
I'm just rambling on because I'm upset. You guys are laughing at my expense, aren't you?
Yes.
Well,
We're not
no,
laughing.
no,
We're not laughing
not at
at
all.
you. We're laughing
This is
with
what I
you.
They're
like.
laughing with you,
Jeremy
of
is very blunt with me. He's like, yeah, that's exactly what we're
That's
doing. We're
exactly
laughing
what
with
we're
you. And Scott's like trying to be nice about it, going like, no, of course not.
I'm
We're
just trying to be
laughing with you.
diplomatic.
No, we're
That's
not.
all.
No, we're laughing at you because this is funny. And I know, and honestly though, seriously, if Dom was here, he'd be doing the same thing.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
And then
there's no doubt.
and then I would just mention the fact that he likes the Mets. So
Yeah. The Mets.
I'm waiting for him to come up in the comments at any second now. But that's
I think he tapped
5,
out. No, I think Dom tapped
3,
out.
2, 1.
Before we go though, Armand, how are the Thunder doing in the standings? By the way, just so because here's the thing, right?
We
We always talk about the Devils. We always talk about the Comets.
Please tell me we're good.
Let's hear how the Thunder are doing.
We have gotten points in 8 of our last 9. Yes. Since our 8-1 loss to Worcester, we have looked a lot better.
What place are they in?
3rd right now.
Hey, there you go. See? All right.
All right.
Hope is on the way.
But this is after this is still after we had like 2 weeks of like games getting canceled left and right.
Neil, Josh
Right.
has a question. When is your podcast? It's great, and it is great to listen to. Absolutely.
When is my podcast? We post, Josh, to answer your question, we post new episodes of the Devil's State of Mind podcast every Monday and Thursday. So tomorrow I'll have a new episode talking about everything that just happened over the last 24 hours. And I'll talk about that. But we have new episodes. We're actually currently doing a giveaway on our podcast, a Nico Hischier autograph puck, which you can enter in until the end of the 7th, which is what, Friday? Yeah, Friday. 11:59 is the deadline to enter. And then I will do I will randomly pick somebody. Hopefully not a bot, because last time I did this, I accidentally picked a bot, which I realized afterwards, oh, that's not a real person, is it? I had to do it over like 3 times before I found a real person. I was like, all right, thank. I now know that this is a real person, so it's fine.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, no, Josh, we post new episodes every Monday and Thursday. And we're also doing live watch-alongs as well on the Hockey Podcast Network.
Those
YouTube
are awesome.
channel. We just, because Scott, I know you were talking about the Winter Classic one that I did.
Yeah.
We reached over 8,000 views for that one.
That's awesome.
Really?
8,000 different people watched that live watch-along. And it was literally just me sitting on my couch right there.
Yeah, but it was so fun, though. It was so
literally my whole
entertaining.
setup. This is what you see. Every live watch-along I do, this is literally all you see. It's all you get. I have the most simple setup of all time.
And that's right on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel.
Yep, THPN. We are almost at 800 subscribers, trying to get to 1,000. Also, leave a like and a subscribe to my boys here, because they do a great job on the Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast. These are some of my great friends, my Utica, as my old man calls them, my Utica friends. my brother recently, he was like, yo, can we just like go to Utica? And I'm like, why do you want to go to Utica? I said, just because it's like random. It's like a fun place to go. And I'm like,
did he say fun place?
Yeah, he said fun. This is my brother.
Okay.
He doesn't know Utica.
He should come then.
We'll take a train and we'll get off and we'll go to Utica. And my brother, after 5 minutes, will be like,
let's go.
That's what I thought. And he's like, oh, but we get to go watch an actually good hockey team. And I was like, that's nice. That's very kind of you to say.
Listen, there'll be Devils someday. Okay? There'll be Devils.
They should just play a regular season game in Utica. We talked about this the last time.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think we get a sold-out crowd.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't matter who we play. We could play the Coyotes and it'd be a sold-out crowd.
Oh, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
So hopefully that answers your question, Josh, because I don't really give very one-word answers for you. I ramble on and on and on and on, and I need to shut up.
One more quick question before we go. So we had mentioned the Rangers earlier, and that they were leading the NHL until last night when Tampa Bay won. Are they legit contenders for the President's Trophy?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I think because here's the thing. Their underlying numbers are a problem. I don't know how they've been able to win some of the games they've won with some of the things that they've done defensively. Quite frankly, I think like I did a live watch along of the Rangers game against the Oilers a couple days ago, and
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of times where Georgiev had to really bail out the Rangers defense. Like the Rangers defense from an offensive perspective is very good. Do not get me wrong. Very good. From a defensive perspective, they've gotten very lucky a lot this year. I think that this is going to be a top playoff contender, no question about it. I think they'll be one of the higher seeds in the playoffs. But as far as the President's Trophy, a lot of things have to keep going right. And I don't know how much longer it's going to last.
Right.
I mean,
they have huge puck luck right now.
100%.
They have puck luck all over the place. I mean,
they have health luck as well.
They have health luck. They're
We don't have that, do we?
The COVID hasn't hit them yet. So, I mean,
and the guys that it did hit, no disrespect, are fourth liners.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's just have Kevin Rooney be the only guy on the team to just go on the COVID list.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to affect anything. I mean, shoot, their coach hasn't gotten COVID yet. I mean, I hope he doesn't.
I mean, I think the President's Trophy. I don't think so. I mean, they're not geared for that. I mean, remember, they're still relatively young.
It's also a paperweight, in my opinion,
and inexperienced. Really, if you think
because
about
the President's Trophy is the kiss of death. There's just no.
The last time the Rangers won the last time the Rangers won the President's Trophy, they lost in, I think, the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
it was like 92, right? 92,
91, and they were supposed to run away with a cup that year. Remember?
Yeah, they were supposed to dominate from start to finish, and they didn't even get out of the first round, if my memory is correct.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tampa Bay's won it. Look what happened.
Tampa Bay's the first President's Trophy team to win the President's Trophy and not win a single playoff game.
Yeah, they got swept.
So, I mean, I've seen the Devils win the President's Trophy and then do nothing in the playoffs. So, to me, it always proves that it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a clean slate when the playoffs start.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
absolutely.
The Rangers shouldn't be concerned about, let's try to go get the President's Trophy. Their goal should be, we have been very lucky, and we need to fix things before the luck starts to run out. Because when the luck starts running out, if they're still in a decent place defensively, then they'll be fine. They'll still be able to make. But if they have not corrected anything, when it starts to get bad, because every team's going to go through a bad stretch at one point or another,
it's going to snowball.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, I don't think Patrick Kane will be a New York Ranger. I don't care how many people say. I know Dom was talking about it the last time, and I just don't.
We can't afford him. We won't be able to afford him.
Can't afford him. No, see, I like that. Yeah, Jordy's right. Yeah, no, that's. Scott, you need to put that on a T-shirt and sell it. Playoffs are a different beast.
Yes, that'll be our shirt. There it is, right there. Perfect.
Dude, perfect. Yeah, you could sell. Yeah, when Utica makes the playoffs, you could sell them in red and black, and just sell them outside the stadium. I'm sure they'll let you do it.
And I'll even get one for you. How's that?
Oh, I appreciate that.
Oh man. Well, guys, this has been so much fun. This meeting of the minds that we had has just been great.
Oh, it was great. I texted Scott before because I didn't even realize who you were. I was like, who's Neil? And Scott's like, don't worry, you'll like him.
And I followed Armand like 2 weeks ago, and he just followed me back like I think yesterday or today. And I was like,
you followed me when I started with all the COVID news, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because everybody started following me then.
There you go.
Well, you were on top of it. So what do you want me to say?
Funny you say that. Very funny you say that. I got an email a week ago from the PR guy in Adirondack.
No, it said shut up.
It basically was like, your source is wrong, and I was like, oh, so now the end of this? You'd like to tell me this?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the Devils to reach out to me and be like, will you stop? Stop it. It's like I'm going to be taken away in a black van. You've said too much.
And it's not going to be the A team, is it? No.
Oh no, it won't be the A team.
You'll be put on the fourth line.
Yeah,
that'll be my punishment.
There you go.
It's like what the hell is that show that everybody keeps talking about recently? It's like your next punishment is like your next challenge is to play on the fourth line. Playing the fourth line of the Devils. Oh no, anything but it's like Squid Games. Yeah, exactly. It's like Squid Games. Oh my god.
Oh
man, Armand, you better start watching Devils games because then you'll understand the pain.
That's his homework.
That's your homework for next time is to Like the next time we both come on, I'll just be like, Neil, I finally understand what you're going through. And I'm sorry. It's like,
well, listen, we'll
We
get
can
back together on the
suffer
show here in about a month or so, and
yeah,
things are all turned around. Everybody will be happy, and it'll be great.
sure.
That's all.
Sure, when pigs fly.
Well, hey, you never know.
Hey, you know what? It's 2022.
That pig might play on
Anything
the
can
fourth
happen.
line.
Oh yeah, I'll be on
I
the
got my
fourth line.
second road trip. I got my second road trip this year planned for February.
There you go.
See,
Yeah.
perfect.
I'll catch you. I'll catch you boys on the fourth line.
Yeah,
Next time
absolutely.
you see me.
We should all play on the fourth line.
Jesus.
Another
Look at
great
the fourth
thank
line
you,
right
guys.
here. This is
Appreciate it.
There's your other podcast name, Scott. The fourth line podcast.
There actually is a
It's called
fourth
the
line
fifth line.
podcast. Yeah.
That was the fifth line. Yeah.
So I don't want to like copyright infringement.
The fourth and a half line.
Yeah.
The New Jersey fourth.
Yeah, the New Jersey fourth line.
Oh man. Well, guys, that's all the time.
The IR. That's going to be.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There you go.
The list. This is the list.
Oh my God.
But guys, thanks again for coming on tonight. It's much appreciated. Armand, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter. That's where most of my stuff is, at Klizovic, and at the Puck Authority. Next week, I am finally getting some time, and I will be bringing back my Thunder Thoughts series, where I'll be sitting down with a different player of the Thunder and basically doing a little Q&A kind of thing and putting that into a nice little article. So look forward to that, because I've been waiting to do that for the last couple of months. But, COVID had to hit the team and knock us out for 3 weeks. So
yeah, if you're looking for ECHL coverage, the puckauthority.com is the place to go, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Neil, let us know, where can we find you? You're all over the place, man. So
you can find me in a pool of my own tears. So in all seriousness, you can find me on Twitter for the Devil State of Mind podcast at Devil State. Also follow us on Instagram at Devil State of Mind, and also like us on Facebook as well. Like I mentioned before to Josh, we post new episodes of the Devil State of Mind podcast every Monday and Thursday, covering all things New Jersey Devils. You can just, look up Devil State of Mind podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. If you can, please give me a 5-star rating on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. Really, really would help. You can also make sure to like and subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, THPN, where we post new live watch-alongs every single day. We're actually currently doing one at the moment. I believe it's the Oilers Maple Leafs game. But, I'm on there. A bunch of other podcast hosts from the network are doing that as well. I might honestly, Scott and Jeremy, I might have you guys come on for one of the live watch-alongs with me. We might just have, a good 3 hours.
Cool.
So the boys would love to hear from you guys.
that would be awesome. Maybe we'll do
the amount of comments that I get, the amount of people that join us, they'll love you guys. They'll love you guys from start to finish. But
absolutely.
Yeah, you can follow us there at THPN, and also just follow us at HockeyPodNet wherever on social media. And also, like I said before, we're doing a Nico Kishier autographed puck giveaway on my Twitter at Devil State. Currently, you have until Friday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern to enter. You have to retweet the post. You have to tag 2 friends, and make sure you're following us on Twitter at Devil's State.
Awesome. And it's great how it always comes back to Nico Hischier. Awesome.
I love to hockey.
All right. Outstanding. And we also want to thank John Moncovich from the Utica College Pioneers for coming on earlier in the night. That was a lot of fun as well. So everybody knows, you can, of course, find our show on Facebook. We have our YouTube channel, which if you're watching, you know that. We're on Twitter, and we are all now. So we're starting back up on Instagram as well. And of course, you can always go to no TikTok yet. I don't say it's that good. No, sir.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that.
But you can also find all of our articles at martysillegalstick.com. All right, guys. Fantastic show. So for Jeremy Roberts, for Armand Klizovic, for Neil Villapiano, and for John Moncovich, I'm Scott Kimball. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week on Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast.